The Manchak swamps, which occupy several hundred hectares of Louisiana territory, are called ghost swamps. Swamps overgrown with huge cypresses and teeming with alligators are not only gloomy, but also dangerous. Going there alone is extremely risky, but these places continue to attract crowds of extreme tourists and fans of everything creepy and mystical. The Manchak swamps are located in the extreme south of Louisiana, near New Orleans. They are a unique ecosystem that is located on a vast lowland off the coast of the Gulf of Mexico. This is the kingdom of mosquitoes, snakes, alligators, and wading birds. There are so many alligators here that a gawking traveler easily risks becoming a dinner by catching the boat on one of the many snags. Several attempts were made to drain this lowland, as the swamp did not fit into the plans for the development of the Louisiana coast, but each time the work had to be curtailed for one reason or another. There is a local legend that these events are connected with the curse of a woman who was a voodoo cult member. Whether this is true or not, it is now impossible to find out, but local guides like to tell this story. There are other rumors about this place that have inspired more than a dozen mystery writers. For example, Anne Rice, the author of the famous filmed book Interview with the Vampire, popular at the end of the 20th century. This very swamp, or rather, perhaps, even the Union of Swamps, is located in the state of Louisiana, not far from a city called New Orleans. There are few reliable facts related to this place. The marshes stretch for many miles and include the territories of 3 small villages that were once destroyed by a hurricane. In the heart of the swamps is the so-called Honey Island, a small piece of land inhabited mainly by wild bees. Lots of dying cypress trees sticking out of the murky water. A thriving population of alligators. Periodically discovered human remains, which is not surprising, because the disappeared villages probably had cemeteries. That, in fact, is all that can be said definitively, and then there is boundless scope for imagination. The abundance of legends and legends associated with the Manchak swamp deserve special mention. To begin with, it is believed that all the troubles in the swamps began in 1915. After a voodoo minister cursed the area. According to one legend, in 1915, a voodoo cult member was burned in these swamps. Her name has been preserved in the chronicles. Julia White. Dying, the witch cursed the tormentors in these places, and after her death, a terrible hurricane completely destroyed 3 villages. Many people died. The villages were not rebuilt. People began to disappear more and more often in the cursed marshes, and the marshes began to be called the haunt of ghosts. It is also said that many runaway slaves tried to hide in the local thickets for a long time and were eaten alive by crocodiles that lived there. Or not crocodiles. The array of monsters thirsting for blood in the swamps is also impressive, and it's not limited to giant alligators. You can only travel through the marshes by boat, but even without a curse, any swamp is an unpredictable phenomenon that negatively affects the psyche. There is shaky ground underfoot, strange sounds, methane bubbles that rise from the quagmire, where the remains of careless animals or people decompose under their very feet. It's not for nothing that people feel bad when they are in the swamps. Dizziness begins, and weakness appears. The most curious thing is that the corpses of local residents who died in 1915 and bodies from water-washed cemeteries continue to surface from the swamp today. And surprisingly, they are not touched by local predatory animals. It should be noted that the swamps are teeming with alligators, which are not fastidious in their food choices. The bodies float to the surface from time to time, after which they remain in this position for a while and sink back down, and others come out of the swamps to replace them. According to locals, this is how the executed witch reminds of herself. Nowadays, residents of the state of Louisiana claim that sometimes people disappear near the swamps, and instead ghosts come home. Surprisingly, Manchak marshes are constantly visited by tourists. Those who want to tickle their nerves want to personally see dried-up trees hung with gloomy Louisiana moss, alligators resembling huge half-submerged logs, and hear strange moans made by swamps. Many people say that they have seen ghosts in this area more than once. Well, this is very similar to the truth. Even today, the Manchak swamps do not cease to collect from tourists the terrible tribute of the dead, and new restless souls join the ranks of those who have been roaming these places for more than a decade. Night walks are also organized here for tourists. Boats with small tourist groups sail along a certain route surrounded by cypress branches, from which strands of moss hang. If you listen closely, you can sometimes hear the eerie howl of ru-ga-ru, which translates to werewolf, or werewolf. You should not be surprised if a hungry alligator swims next to your boat, which is not averse to tasting fresh meat. The local population says it's very easy to get lost in the Manchak swamps. Those who find themselves in these places often see the lights and mistake them for the light of the dwelling. In reality, these are wandering swamp fires, self-igniting gas, phosphorus hydrogen formed during the decomposition of rotting organic residues. It's not for nothing that swamp lights are called dead man's candles. They can be seen both in swamps and cemeteries. Swamp lights can be blue, greenish, or the color of pure flame. And a lost traveler who joyfully goes to this landmark often hurries straight to the place of his death. Please like this video and subscribe to this new channel, and you will see many more interesting and useful things. And so, if you are an adherent of everything mystical, unreal, and mysterious, then welcome to the Manchak Swamp, to this cursed place. The feeling of fear will not leave you there, because you never know what exactly is behind you, the mouth of an alligator or just one of the ghosts. The time is late, and there is only night, darkness, and